Now, Rachel from Pittsburgh, Patricia.
Good morning, Khenchen.
Yeah, good morning, Paul.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, very good to see you again. Yes, I hope you are now, your enlightenment is closer.
So do I.
Okay. We're doing, time-wise, we're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, very good.
I think should be about 5 of 9.
Yes, we have 5 minutes.
Yep.
To
4
relax. 5 minutes to relax, yes. And I see Kunjok Pemai. I know he was very, very busy.
Yes, Khenchen, I'm visiting. I'm in Kentucky right now.
Yes, and I know you are very busy. And you are very territorial. Dalita, no, where's that? Dalita.
Talita is from Brazil, from the Dricum Tarashuling.
Okay, from Brazil, wonderful. Yeah, from Brazil. Then we have quite few from Chile.
Yes, Chile, Colombia.
Yeah, Chile, Colombia, Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
No Argentina?
No Argentina, but some from Peru, and also I think Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, okay, of course, Costa Rica, yes.
Mm.
Yeah, wonderful. And Ranashiri from Sweden, I see. Have you, Kevin, have you designed anybody who lead the opening prayers?
No.
I will
I thought Linda had done that.
Will do, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, now you can start.
All right.
Yeah, Anuchutim, you can start this.
I'm doing them, yes.
Okay, yes.
All Mother Ascension beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in a state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All Mother Ascension beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in a state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. All Mother Ascension beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I attain enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with my body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I, too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas, I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all other sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all other sentient beings. May all other sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all other sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all other sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of infinite ocean of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold the compassion of all beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, and whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources, my aspirations now and in the time to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine. By offering them, may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping, completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and attributes of arising, cessation, abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial. The supreme mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om Guru Deva Da Kini Ratna Mandala Prati Soha. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the 2 vehicles and their combination, according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings.
Okay. Oh. Hello, everybody. First, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully. And exhale. And inhale all the bodhicitta wisdom of the Buddhas fully into our minds, being. and exhale all our delusions. Once more, please inhale all the Buddha's wisdom and compassion. And exhale all our delusions fully. So now today, this topic is called, as you have got this, the Vajra speech of the essence of the ultimate, meaning this, I have been talking this in many places, last for a few years in the United States, as well as in other European, other countries, quite a few times. So today is just reflecting on this again, because this is not so long. It has about 11 or 12 verses, but it contains the complete form of Buddha's teaching. Now, all that what we have to do is always reflect in our mind, as I mentioned, just, look at our weakness, our shortcomings, all the mental afflictions, this, as I repeat, it's not just a Buddhist. Anybody, believers, non-believers, educated, uneducated, rich or poor, we all are suffering from these mental afflictions in 24 hours, you see, because it's within us. And that's our focus to purify. That's the basic what Buddha taught. And this is such a comforting, you see, we should see this such a comforting. There's no magic in this. We have to relate the practical approach, day-to-day basis, minute by minute, because it's within us. And there's no someone from outside comes out with us and takes all these mental afflictions. There's no one. You know that. It's very clear. There's no one can come say, I will take care of your mental afflictions, your confusions. So, but the Buddha's teaching, that Buddha taught the wisdom, first to acknowledge this, to recognize this. And then after that, he taught us how to purify them, so that finally we can breathe real peace, real happiness. What we need just willing. We need such willing. I need to purify my mental afflictions. It's just no matter how much we just cover it up, it doesn't do any good for us. So we individually have the responsibilities. Individually, we have to work with that. And this costs nothing. Instead, we get the benefit, you see. And, only we get the benefit, nothing but benefit. But everybody is suffering from this. Even we call high teachers who sits on the high throne. But as long as when their mind is under that control, that high throne doesn't help, The high throne really makes more suffering, So That's what see the Buddha, or why we call it Buddha. It's not something like special title. It's not something special kind of, magic thing. It's a Buddha means fully awakened. It's a Sanskrit word. When Buddha was fully awakened, then that quality now is designed as his name, Buddha. So everybody has the opportunity to do this because we have Buddha nature. Everyone has Buddha nature. So that's what Buddha saw this and then taught this to us out of great compassion, as you know. And as I mentioned many times, just want to remind. So now teachings are just reminding. So today, in these 3 hours, we will cover up all this, the teachings, So it's because it's just reminding from the relative state to the absolute state. And then relative states, absolute states, we should understand both are equally important. Sometimes we pay so much attention on the ultimate state, where we're in the relative state, and we have a lot of conflicts, where we're facing all the confusion, all the suffering in the relative state, and then we bring the ultimate into that and try to solve the problem, and then we cannot solve the problem, you see. So because that very relative state itself is nothing but ultimate. There's no relative state is there out of the there is no ultimate. There is no ultimate state beyond the relative state. The relative state itself is ultimate if we have the uncontrived mind. See, right now our mind is so confused. We are so contrived, so fabricated. Then we impute it. So this and that, a lot of imputations. And they go out of the ultimate state. Because everything is fabricated. Fabrication means it's a chemical. It's a poison. It's a chemical. It's a poison. So we poison ourselves. So we have to take care first the relative state. As it is, then from there we can understand ultimate state. That's why in the Heart Sutra, as you know, the form is emptiness, and emptiness is the form. See? But there's no saying emptiness is somewhere beyond the form, You see? The form itself is emptiness, and emptiness itself is the form. So we have to understand how they come together. We should understand how they are inseparable. See, so just make that understand. So then we take care of our relative life, with the pure motivation. So this is just I'm just reminding. I also remind myself, because my habit in the fabricated state, so deeply rooted, so very difficult to very difficult to see this, because my contrived, fabricated, imputed mind is so much leaning to that poison state. So I have to bring back as my responsibility and my practice I feel I'm still a long way to go, you see. So I'm just sharing you all about this, why we should practice the relative state. Otherwise, all emptiness is nothing, it's just empty, you know. And then you just, you're hanging in there, grasping on that. And there's something like happens, magic, no effort, nothing to do there, And then you ignore your life, you see, you ignore where you are. And then we face a lot of conflict. Then it becomes a cult, the cult member. So then this is it's very dangerous, you see. So we have to take care of our life within in this inseparable nature of the ultimate and relative state. So that today I will just remind step by step.
Rinpoche,
Yes.
dear Rinpoche, I want to know for translation if I should translate. I'm not really sure because it's not
Sure.
automatic one connection, not
You-
mistaken. Linda, can you tell me if I should translate?
I thought you were translating simultaneously.
No, there's no. It is not.
Because
It's-
we have so many audience from Europe, from United States, from Asia.
Okay, no problem. I will. I can do translation later for the Chileans for
Yes,
Spanish.
That would be
Yeah.
great. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, you just record it carefully. Okay.
Yes, I will do that.
Excellent, excelente.
Excelente.
Okay, now I will just read from the beginning. And as I mentioned, in Tibetan, the Vajra speech of the essence of the ultimate. And then the next is that's the name of the text written by a disciple of Jigten Sungkun at his time. And he was great scholar at that time, one of the best scholar, And he came to Jigten Sungkun to challenge, because since he was so great scholar, he knows both Sutra and Tantra teachings. And he came to Jigten Sungkun to challenge, But as soon as he saw Jigten Sungkun, all his doubts are dissolved into emptiness. The form turned into emptiness. So then he wrote a life story of Jigten Sungkun. He said he got such a great opportunity to study with Jigten Sungkun next for 12 years. So he studied with Jigten Sungkun and of course practice. So then he wrote many books, including this one. And I like this because since he was such a great scholar, his writings is so beautiful. The formation, way of writing the verses, the words, the selection of the words are so beautiful. So that's one thing. Then of course, no need to mention the meaning is complete form of the Buddha's teachings are here. So I feel that he wrote this for us in this modern time. All the complete teachings, but in very short form and precise. Okay, then next is paying homage. Paying homage. Then what is said? And then he says, I'll write down this. I place my head at I place my head at the feet of Guru, is Jigten Sungkun. So he is placing his head, in front of Jigten Sungkun's feet. Then say that inseparable from the Lord with great bliss, the invisible three kayas. So Lord Jigten Sungkun is the embodiment of the three kayas, Buddha's Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. In the enlightened state, So that's paying homage. Then next, say, I shall explain Vajra's speech of the essence of the ultimate, means that he received this teaching from Jigten Sungkun. So then I will explain this, the inconceivable and profound nectar of his awakened mind. See, the teaching that he received is from Jigten Sungkun. It's inconceivable. Our ordinary mind is difficult to penetrate because this teaching is such a wisdom, inseparable of the profundity and vastness. And our dualistic mind, difficult to penetrate that. But he said he will explain to us about this. So we should understand about that. See, the essence of the ultimate. See, all this essence of the Buddha's teaching. Then we practitioner, what kind of practitioner we should have? See now, he said, in solitude, without dependencies, in the remote mountains and forest. See, relinquish the world and contemplate with the courageous diligence, you see. We as a practitioner, we should first understand, about the samsara. Samsara is nothing but is the place of confused and suffering, and in the dualistic state of the mind. Now you can see very precisely, especially this last, like you say, like year and a half during this pandemic. It's just this pandemic invaded entire world, everywhere. It doesn't discriminate anybody. Everyone is going through this so much, or went through this, and still going through many places. Look at this, you see. Rich or poor, educated, uneducated, young or old, now there's no discrimination. How much they're just desperate to free from this. Everybody's talking about this, how to get out of this. Look at this, So this suffering, you can see, is shared by everyone. Now see the world leaders come together. Now they're discussing. It shows there's no discrimination. We have to share. Everybody's sharing that. Understand this. Out of delusion, we created the cause. From that cause, we experience the result. You see, everything is interdependent. That's what's called. You see, it's interdependent. It's not just belief of something or somebody's. How we just function within in this causality. So the causality is so precise. And that causality is invincible. Nobody can ignore it. Nobody can get rid of it. As long as there's a cause, as long as there's a condition, we have to go through. No? It's just a matter of time. And that all causality is within in the framework of the mind. The mind is, you see now, more and more you can see how the mind is so important. But still, nobody talks about the mind. Only just we're talking outside. No? Even religious leaders, they talk about the Buddha's teaching as something like traditional. We never talk about this, how to purify these mental afflictions. All the teachers will tell you, be nice, be compassionate, be kind, That much they will talk about. What is really ignorance is about. What the play of the ignorance. From the ignorance, how the desire manifests, attachment manifests. From the ignorance, how the anger manifests. No. They will never touch, you see, the depth of the mind. This is very important, It's not as a Buddhism, you see. It's not some Buddhism kind of idea or belief. So this is a very serious subject. We talk so much about, say, that in the Buddhist there's no self or there's no ego, and I said, but then the teachers are so egoistic. You see, They want to protect their own, status. They want to protect their own throne. They can't let go of the throne out, So it's not easy, because it's so ingrained within us. So this is our practice, Dharma. If we could practice this, penetrate more and more, then we can really breathe peace. I can show us, I can say, I studied for many years and I have practiced Dharma and I am highly qualified. I have this, that, And then if you are Tulku, so I practiced for Dharma for many kalpas and many lifetimes, But in reality, look at in your daily life. It's not that simple, so, we are so entangled within that. Just look this, I'm just sharing this. I'm not saying bad things about anybody else, but I'm just sharing. Look at our mind. Just look to our own mind. I'm just looking at my own mind, how sophisticated it is, how confusing it is. One day I feel so good, I can do this, that, this, Next day I feel dumb. I feel maybe I'm in the hell realm, You see? So this can only handle by the Dharma, the Buddha's wisdom. So Buddha didn't say, you should pray to me, I will solve your problem. No. But Buddha said, I will teach you, you practice, you follow with it. No. Buddha himself said very precisely, suffering of the sensation means I cannot wash by my hand. See? I cannot bestow my realization onto you, but simply I can give you the teaching, the wisdom, and then you yourself investigate it. Investigate means you find out there's something the mistake the Buddha has made. What it means to understand what Buddha's teaching is investigate. Sometimes now you know very clearly. So Buddha said, you can investigate my teaching. No? So there's something like we get some kind of impression, or we should find out what kind of Buddha made the mistake, you know. We should know Buddha will never make mistake because Buddha was fully enlightened. From that perfect enlightened mind, then taught the teachings with great compassion to all the sentient beings who are suffering so much, and there's no way get out of the suffering. It's just life after, we say, day after day, year after year, and then you see, we work so hard in our whole life. Then at the end of the life, we're still not fulfilled. See, look at this, no? We went to university, we got a PhD degree, and we worked so much. Some people, you know, they made billions of money, you know, because of their skill. They are smart, but still how much they are confused, how much they are suffering, you see. So that's what look inside in our mind. Just appreciate what you have. Rejoice what you have. And then look in the mind. And then purify our mind. Every day, no? Every day, one at a time, purify. And then you will really appreciate. So that's what here, what this means is mentioned. What it said is that in solitude, without dependency means without kind of making please others. I have to make please this person, have to make happy this person. And if I don't make please that person will be upset with me, angry with me, and I want that person happy, you know. So we are so much into that. And then we just, at the end of the day, you are so tired making happy others, your family, your friends, all these things, you see. So you just be yourself. Make your mind in the right place. Put there. That's what's known. And then remain mountain and forest. At that time, people could stay in the forest, in the mountain. But nowadays, not possible. Even if you stay in the mountain, it's expensive as in the city, you know. And there's no free mountain, you know. There's no free lunch in the mountain. Okay, no free lunch in the forest, you see. At that time, yes, doesn't cost so much. That is you can change this kind of culture, you change. Nowadays in the mountains, very expensive. You buy a piece of property in the mountain, very expensive. To build a small house, expensive, you see. So now you just stay where you are. No, make your mind free. Means free of the delusion. See? Then these things you can change, you see. That's what it's called, relinquish the world. Relinquish the world means attachment. You know, 8 worldly concerns. 8 worldly concerns. You know, to become rich, or upset when you lost wealth, to praise, blame, comfort, discomfort, all these things in the samsara which concerns everybody. So don't attach to these things because they come and go. So you just make your mind free, no attachment, no expectation, just do the right things. That's what is important, you see. And then say, contemplate with the courageous diligence, you see. I will use these Dharma teachings to achieve complete enlightenment. We need a courage, see. Without courage, you cannot do this. Courage comes out of the wisdom. Look at everything's so impermanent, changing. No, especially nowadays, you can see the impermanence is so vivid, so clear. You see, it's not it's Buddha's talking about it. We can see it. No? Look at this. Then there's nothing to attach to. Just build the courage. Courage means to bring Buddha's teachings in your life, the wisdom in your life, the great compassion in your life. They should not have any reservations. Fully open your mind and make your mind spacious. Bring this into your heart. Because I have the precious human life. Look at the animal, now you can see nowadays, how much they are suffering. First of all, within themselves, they see like the lions, the tigers, the leopards, the coyotes, just try to kill others. And how much the others are suffering, they are running away to achieve free from their life. By threatening by others. How many fishes are suffering? Fish are suffering. Crabs. Look at all this, you see. We use as a delicacy, but they are killed. And we enjoy as a delicacy, So look at this. How much they try to run away from the danger of their life. And they don't know each other. Everyone is so ready to kill, ready to run away. You see, suffering so much there. You really just look at it, down to earth. And then just feel their suffering, their anguish. So through Buddha conscious of all the suffering of sentient beings. That's why we just said the prayers. But all the sentient beings, the boundless or the boundless sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness, you see. Because Buddha conscious that very details. It's not a religion. It's not a religious belief. It's the reality. Reality in the samsara. So you look at these. And then Buddha said, just develop courage yourself on the base of wisdom, compassion, and practice. And be diligent, you see. Diligent means not attached to this life. Now again, I mentioned many times, not attached to this life doesn't mean don't eat food. Don't wear clothes. Attachments Attachment means only concern to this life. Only focus only for this life. And there we make a lot of mistakes. We create the karma, and then again we suffer. And then we have no way how to get out of this. So these are such a precious thing. Each words are so important. Courageous diligence. Yes, on impermanence, everything, as you mentioned, I mentioned impermanent. And then the suffering, so look at the suffering of the centuries. Now I don't have to say so much. You know this. And migrators who are shrouded by ignorance. See, this is as mentioned. We are so shrouded, deeply rooted ignorance. Ignorance means have no mental clarity. What's the right cause for peace and happiness? What's the direct cause of the suffering? It doesn't mean know nothing. Those ignorant individuals, they're so smart. Like say, they can make such great weapons. See? Such powerful weapons. Or you can say this, now the internet. Now I heard like the cyber attacks. I don't know what all about this. You see, they're so smart. But they know how to make others so miserable, And then see that the wave of that ignorance go around and then create the cause everywhere, the suffering. Can't get out of this. So look at this, That's why Buddha said, if you cannot help, so don't harm others. You see, these two things, if you cannot help, don't harm. Very important. This goes to the mind. It's not that this text, these high texts are there. They're just neutral. They are neither good nor bad. But it depends how we use. When individually when we have when we have a wrong motivation, then this becomes such a like a weapon, weaponizing, destroying others' life. When we have such a good motivation, right motivation, we can use this all how to bring benefit to help others. So these all technologies, this outside this is neutral, neither good nor bad. But it depends on the individual who uses. See? So that's why the mind is so important. The world great leaders, they don't know about the mind, you see. So we need the property of the mind, the unpondable, very deep. It's difficult to dig out that needs such great samadhi, meditative concentration, samadhi. We need such equipoise. That makes it such a first important condition to give rise profound wisdom. You look and see our mind is so shallow. It's like air, cannot rest in one place. How much we can expect to have such a profound wisdom. I know now that many scientists, especially neurolysis or this, involving the mind, brain and mind. They're so interested so much about the teaching of the mind, but they just want to depend on the machine, not depend on their own mind, not depend on their meditative concentration. They're just going outside, and they cannot find, you see. But they have to sit, relax themselves, meditate. Like the Kampupa, the Dharma Lord Kampupa. Even before he met Repa, he could meditate for 7 days just at one time. No. He can stay without food for a few days because his meditation is so powerful, so profound. So then when he met Repa, he expressed, I have this much experience. Repa said, this, even you have this wonderful, he said, but cannot go too far. He said, you practice this technique, Tumu practice. So because Kampupa has such great, profound shamatha meditation, he fully actualized Tumu relaxation within a week. And then he revealed all his inner wisdom, mind. He could see it directly. That's why how Kampupa becomes so great teacher, became such a great master, and a teacher of great masters. So these great scientists, what we have now, instead of they rely on the machine, they need to sit down, meditate themselves, achieve the equipoise, and then they can really reveal the profundity of the mind. Otherwise, mind is like you're peeling onion, You peel the onion one after another, one after another, and eat nothing, It's like peeling the onion. You cannot find anything there. But when you have the meditation, relax, profound shamatha, then you can see the power of the ability of the mind to see things. You can see the things, how they function. So that's what I'm saying is, ignorance. So we have to get rid of ignorance, we need wisdom, shamatha. That's why, this 3 training, the training of the morality, the training of the meditative concentration, the training of the praja, the transcendental wisdom. These 3 trainings are the indispensable to tackle all the mental afflictions. That's the Dharma is so precious, cannot replace. There is no replacement for Dharma in order to reveal the mind. It's not just a spiritual thing, It's the requirement. If we want to free from suffering, Dharma is the direct cause through study and practice. So that's how to deal to get rid of the ignorance. So there are so many layers, as I mentioned, like peeling the onions one after another. So that's the quality of the mind, So to that, you see, ignorance, then For the mothers of the great kindness and are equal to space, are the ones to be tamed. Now next to looking all the sentient beings, mother sentient beings. Look at this, how precious is the world itself. All the sentient beings as your mother, your sister, your brother, your father, you know. That just the word itself is so precious. It brings the closeness of sentient beings, not a distance. No, like this, no. I can talk this so beautifully, isn't it? But when I practice this, still a long way to go, you know. Those who create some problems, it's difficult to see as a mother. I will get rid of this. You see, that's what I mean. You see, my mind is not that easy, you know. I know intellectually, and I know I should doing this, but then in the mind itself, say, wait a minute, you know. makes my mind, you know, little distance, you see. So I have to practice for this, you see. This is what it means practice, you see. It requires such a great bravery, you know, courage, you know. You see, my own limitation, that, you see, makes my mind suffering, you see. So I don't want this suffering. I want to free from this suffering. But I'm creating my own suffering by my own mind, you see. That's what's called oxymoron, you know. You see, so Dharma teaching is such a great kind of such a great method. You know, it's such a great kind of technology. You know, it's such a great technologies that technology of Dharma really helps to overcome all our limitation, the cause of suffering. So we have precious human life. Now we should rejoice this, acknowledge this, and follow the path as much as we can, as long as we live in the samsara. You know? And then we just follow the path step by step. That's what it's called all mother sentient beings. You know all the theories. You read the Jewel Ornament of Liberations. You read many other books, and these all teachings described, you know, all mother sentient beings. So I don't have to go those details. You know this. So that's, you see, for the mother of the great kindness, and who are equal to space and they're limitless. You know. And then these sentient beings, all sentient beings, they need these Dharma teachings. That's what's called to be tamed. They need Dharma teachings. They need to free from sufferings. They need to achieve nirvana. You know? So to do that, I need to practice myself. So it's a full of love, compassion, and supreme bodhicitta. See, I need to develop great loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. You see, love, compassion, bodhicitta. That these three are such precious. But to practice this, if our ignorance is not deleted, not purified, our love can be attachment. No, I love somebody means I have attachment. See? So this is very profound. And just the other day I found. We should love all sentient beings, means we should have attachment to all sentient beings. I love this person means I have attachment. So you see, these three, these three special practice, love, compassion, bodhicitta. If our mind is not free from ignorance, they are within in the delusion, and then it becomes the cause of suffering. So we have to practice them to then mind within in the wisdom, free from the ignorance. So that's the Buddha's teaching, you see. Avoid or purify our attachment, aversion, ignorance. These three. See? Attachment, desire, clinging, and craving. That mind is not easy to get rid of. We're craving something, we're clinging something, we're attached to something, we desire to something. Because of that, then there is aversion. There comes the aversion when there comes it contradicts for your desire. There comes anger, resentment, malicious thought, how to get rid of others. And then you see that are based on the ignorance. So our main focus is how to purify these mental portions so that we can practice loving kindness so effectively, compassion practice effectively, and desire to attain Buddhahood very effectively. So that's why the full of love, compassion, and supreme bodhicitta. So that's why I said, without any concern for yourself, don the great armor. So wear such great armor. Protection means we should be protected from these mental afflictions. That's the protection. These mental afflictions, such a great powerful weapon, they tackle our life of peace, life of wisdom. See? So to free from these weapon of the mental afflictions, we should wear the armor of love, compassion, and bodhicitta. Now, that's the Dharma practice, you see. It's not just, it's not just being a nice, and be kind, like that, It's just being how practical should be, to purify these mental delusions. Otherwise, so you wear some special dress, bring a mala in your hand, looks like you're so compassionate, you're so religious, you're so pure, and you're showing, how pure you are wearing the mala, you know, or in the hand, or in your hand, in your neck, or in your hand, you know. And chanting some mantras, so okay. I'm saying right? This, I'm saying the things that we need. Okay, please, you know, try to share practically how to be, you know, say to free from our delusions. It's very important that, see, because I know you have received many teachings from many great teachers. No, I know. You have read many books. Oh. Many people like to read many books. And every day there are so many books are coming. No, now it's in the in the 80s, 90s, 2000 beginning, there are a lot of books coming from Sonoran, you know. But now Sonoran is dissolved into Shambhala. Now, how many books are coming from Shambhala? There are so many books. When I read a lot of books, just how to make happy this life, you know. There are only few, maybe, you know. They will not encourage you to how to free from samsara. When you read it, you know, how to, you know, they will not teach you how to purify your mind, to how to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. But if you read all the titles, of course I've read inside, but the titles, you know, to make your mind this life, how to handle your emotions, you know, and so how to tackle this, where we're entangled in this life. I see many books are like that. But we have to read book like Jewel Ornament of Liberation. Really, you know, it's not because of my attachment to Jewel Ornament of Liberation, but I read that book and I translated that book, and this book is one of the book, real, you know, right from the beginning, that will take you to the Buddhahood. Step by step, you see. It's not that big book, you know, it's just right size, but has a complete information. You know? So we need like that kind of book, you see, how to free from entire confusion of samsara. You know? Not try to enrich your samsaric life. Okay. There are so many books that teach you how to enrich your samsaric life, how to enjoy this life, instead how to free from the samsara. So get that some, you know, in the mind, you know, awake that, okay, I'm just sharing some of those informations, okay? But it's of course up to you. It's your choice, you know, what I can say. But he said, wear the armor, or wear the armor to protect from the delusion, self-grasping. This self-grasping is very, very powerful. Even we practitioner of Mahamudra, emptiness, see, we're so well protected, our ego within in the emptiness. It's the emptiness, instead of becoming a method to relinquish our self-grasping, but this Mahamudra practice of emptiness try to build my ego stronger. So then after 6 years meditation on emptiness. So I practice emptiness for 5 years now. I'm well off. I can do this. I can teach, you know. That's it, you know. The
All
Dharma,
right, let's go get a bag.
yeah, the Dharma instead of
Let's go get a.
Dharma instead of become a Dharma, as you know, Kabupa's teaching the 4 Dharmas. Dharma become now so instead of free from samsara, it becomes the path to enrich this life.